And welcome. We are about to say hello to somebody who I believe defines the American dream in every way. Wally Williams, who is just not only a wonderful educator, but I want to go back as the principal of Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech. I want to start by saying welcome, and what makes you tick?
Wow. Well, thank you for having me on the show.
Of course.
The American dream. Wow. That's amazing. Who would have thought? So what makes me tick? I would say, there are so many things in life that happen, that go on, but I have to say, I think a lot about education. I'm an educator. I'm an administrator. And so just thinking about how young people in our city can progress, do well for themselves through education. One of my favorite slogans, I used it a lot when I was principal at Keith Middle School, is knowledge is power. It's a very simple slogan, but it goes a long way. And so I would say thinking about getting young people to realize that is sort of what makes me tick. Aside from all the other wonders of life, like raising a family, having a beautiful wife and loving to travel, those things are the wonders of life. But what gets me thinking all the time is how to advance other people through education,
This is a powerful statement that you make. How did you come to that conclusion?
That knowledge is power? Wow. So certainly not when I was young. It took me some time.
What were you like when you were young?
Rambunctious might be a word.
Huh?
Hyper, I think the teachers would call me. Yeah, I was a youngster running around, busybody. I don't think I always understood the value of education when I was young. I understood the value of running around, getting myself into goofy trouble and what have you. But I guess what I would say is
A normal kid who was growing up, and you're right, had a lot of energy, and without the right kind of guidance, sometimes doesn't head upwards, but heads this way, right?
Exactly.
So you're in the business of directing kids in the right direction.
Yeah.
So there's something spiritual to that.
Certainly.
Are you a spiritual person?
I would say I'm a spiritual person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm in and out of spiritualism. I would say that I certainly espouse Buddhism. I think that that's wonderful for me, meditation and really getting grounded, focusing on the now as much as possible. But I've recently started to spend some time, reading the Bible more and, embracing Christianity. And I feel like it makes a huge difference, makes my heart feel more whole. And I feel like I'm able to give more to people the more open my heart is to spiritualism. So, we get caught up in our day-to-day, and sometimes you just don't think that there's anything else out there. And then when I sit and I'm able to reflect, I realize there's more to it, and I'm able to open my heart and mind to it. And I think it just makes me more valuable to the people around me,
It certainly does.
Yeah.
When you think like that, it shows how intelligent you are. Does that take work, or does it come naturally?
No, it absolutely takes work. I mean, life is an up and down roller coaster, right? You go through wonderful moments, but then you go through very challenging moments where your faith is questioned or challenged, with everything, with your kids, your family, work, and the trials and tribulations of life, the political environment that can create stress. And so, no, sometimes you have to stop and reflect.
What was one of your worst moments in life?
Oof. Worst moments? I would say this is a little rough, when my mother passed away.
No?
Yeah, I was a junior in high school. That was heavy for me. That was heavy.
It is heavy.
Yeah.
To lose your mother?
Yeah. I can remember my brother and I, when we both got the news, we just embraced each other and just fell out. That was hard for the two of us. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and to be that young, it certainly, calcifies your brain a bit and makes you grow up really fast, So that was heavy. Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to find out more about why such a radiant light like you has understood his mission early in life. We'll be back. More of this amazing discussion in a minute. But first, please like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. Thank you so much. Let me thank the good folks at iGreen Landscape, your one-stop solution for your residential and commercial property management. Whether it's snowing or whether you're mowing, let Team iGreen handle your landscape and hardscape year-round. From spring cleanups to commercial snow management, I recommend the good folks at iGreen Landscape. Call for your complimentary consultation today. Wally Williams, welcome. It's so nice to start the conversation with you.
Likewise.
Tell people who you are.
So, I'm a New Bedford guy, born and raised. Love the city, blessed to be here. And I'm an educator. I'm a principal of one of the largest schools in our area, Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech. I've been the principal there for 4 years. It's been a great ride. Prior to that, I was the principal at Keith Middle School for 2 years. I learned so much there, especially in the realm of instructional leadership. Prior to that, I was an assistant principal for 5 years. And before that, I was a principal at Whaling City Junior Senior High School, the alternative school in the city. So with 3 years of teaching prior to that, I've got about 15 years of education. And so it's been, that's almost half my career, in education. And it's been really amazing and difficult, but impactful, I think, for me and for the lives that I've been able to touch,
I want to touch that because your mother passed away when you and your brother were you were in your teens, right?
I was 16.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, my brother was 15, yeah.
That is a blow that, how do you can't. You don't get beyond that, but I guess what do you do? Learn to be the best around it?
So I think I reflect back on how I would think about the situation when I was that age, and I always thought that my mother was always watching down on me and hoping for the best in the way that I did things, always hoping that I had the best judgment, made the best decisions. So I felt like I lived my life for her and through her and to make her proud. So it didn't in any way bring me down. I was never, obviously I missed my mother, but I felt like I had a reason to live and to prove myself as opposed to be stuck in a rut or depressed by it. And so, I feel like it created a drive in me, to work harder for her, And so it was difficult, but not everyone does this, but for me it was, how can I translate this into energy, positive energy? And I did. I'm not just saying that in retrospect. I remember that's exactly how I did it. I can remember being in school the next day because I just didn't want to be home drowning in my sorrows, crying my eyes out by myself. I wanted to just be active, keep my mind busy, and my brother did the same. And I think we're better for it. And I do believe if my mother was and is in fact watching down on me and us, my brother, she's happy with kind of what we've done and how we've risen out of, what she went through. We watched her suffer, And so another reason why I think we were able to overcome it so quickly is because we probably felt that it was bittersweet, that she was in a better place than she was because she was suffering. So a difficult thing for someone that young to deal with, but, it certainly defines you and can create a situation where you can come out of it like a phoenix. And I think we did,
You're one of the lucky ones. A lot of people are bowled over by these events in life and find it very difficult to stand back up and dust themselves off and keep going. For a lot of people, this is difficult.
Yeah, that is true.
What kind of cooking do you like?
Oh boy, I do love food. I do love food. I love a steak. A porterhouse is great.
Talk to me now.
I love a steak.
How?
Medium. Medium's good.
Oh.
I used to love it well done, but medium's good.
Okay. On the grill?
Ooh, grill is the way.
And
grill is the way.
seasonings or anything?
I like barbecue. I like it to have the barbecue seasoning and all of that. I do a lot of meal prep because I try to, maintain a certain weight and stay in shape and all of that. And steak is a great part of that diet that I don't. It's like a snack for me, which is great.
Nice.
But the blessing with food around where we live is that there's so many great places, to eat. So one of my favorite foods to eat is boom boom shrimp, black whale.
Oh,
one of my best plates. Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
When we come back, we're going to whet your appetite a whole lot more with the principal of Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech, Wally Williams, who also, as you can see, folks, is a self-made blessing. That's what you are.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. More of this amazing discussion in a minute, but first, please like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. If you're ready to finally make your biggest dreams a reality, let my friend Jared Methia at Milestone Mortgage Solutions get you your next mortgage or your next home loan. Jared is a trusted local loan officer who works with some of the most reputable companies. Jared reminds me if you're a first-time home buyer or maybe you're looking to refinance. He says, go to him. And I, too, recommend Jared Methia, providing you with a stress-free experience. Call Jared today for a competitive rate, for quick approvals, and for one-of-a-kind personalized service. That's Jared Methia at Milestone Mortgage Solutions. You can now watch The Phil Show whenever you'd like. Like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. And catch us wherever you catch your favorite podcasts. Like, follow, and please share The Phil Show now with a friend. The Phil Show now. Wally Williams, do you consider life a gift?
That's a powerful question. I do. I do believe it is a gift. Yeah. I think that it's a gift that we're blessed to have. And every day we get up and we can make a choice to stay there, lay in our rut, or get up, get active, do something, be productive. And that is the gift. Whether it's a rainy day, a sunny day, it's a day where we're up. I say up. Not everyone's blessed to get up on their feet. Not everyone's blessed to have hands or even sight. But to be able to get up and be able to do something, be with people, if at all possible, is just an absolute blessing. I don't think I always had that mindset, but I feel like I have elevated my life since that's been my mindset. Mm-hmm. That life is a gift. I don't know if you didn't word it that way, I probably wouldn't have called it that. But what I would say is something that I really cherish. Mm-hmm. It is a blessing to be able to get up every day. Mm-hmm. Even easier, though, on those nice, warm, sunny days. They feel even more like a gift. And on those days, I like to get up, ride my bike, and enjoy it and be around people and boast about the fact that we live near the water. I mean, what a blessing is that? So yeah, life is a gift, and it keeps giving every day we wake up. Absolutely.
You're married.
I am, happily.
Children?
3. We have 3.
Now, who fell in love with who first? First, it has to be. And that this is the kind of question that your wife is going to be listening to.
Well, of course she fell in love first. I swooned her easily.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
You know what I would say? It was like love at first sight. Honestly, It sounds so cliche, but no, when we met each other 22 years ago, 23 this year, yeah, we hit it off right away. And we were inseparable ever since. Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
Do you keep falling in love, as you're in love,
Yeah.
but do you continue to grow that love?
Absolutely. I think relationships go through ups and downs. They all do, no matter what. But it's so important to focus on that love continually being strong. Date nights, just building in date nights to the week. We have busy weeks, busy days, busy lives, but making time for one another in order to be grounded with why we're even together in the first place, and that's love. That's the connection. It's communication. It's being with each other. And so, there are times where life gets so busy you forget about those things, but you have to stop, reflect, and be with each other, be present. I say that like I'm some marriage counselor. You're never perfect at it, but you have to go back to the roots and, just do that, be present,
Yes, dear.
Yeah, absolutely. Did that work, Gary? But no, it's true. I mean that. It
I
really
know you
is.
do.
It's true,
Relationships, boy, when we come back, they are the toughest things to try to do your best in, because they're constantly growing and changing. Every day there's a new challenge. So, you have so many things going on in relationships, whether it's in the family or at work, so this is, some of the things we need in life are simply guidance.
Yeah.
Otherwise do we normally settle for mediocre? That's the question I have. Do we settle for less than? Just to keep going, I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't.
No, I prefer not to.
No, you haven't,
Right.
ever.
Yeah, and it's easy to, though, because it's easy to settle for less.
So that was the reason I brought it up. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, I want you to tell us whether your life was hard or easy.
Okay.
More of this amazing discussion in a minute. But first, please like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. Thank you so much.
Carefree Homes is an award-winning home improvement company. It's been family-owned and operated since 1978. For over 46 years of business and thousands of satisfied customers, this company is A+ rated. It's an accredited member of the Better Business Bureau. And listen to this, no payments until the project is completed. How's that? Financing options are available for roofing, siding, windows, doors, decks, you name it. CarefreeHomesCompany.com. Call for a free quote. 508-997-1111. CarefreeHomesCompany.com.
We are with Wally Williams, principal at Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech.
Yep.
You have children.
Yes.
Three?
Yes. We have three, yeah.
How old?
21, 19, and 17 already. Time flies.
So when you say time flies, tell us a little bit about how that happened. That they were kids and now all of a sudden they're on their own almost.
Yeah, well, yeah. One of them's already on his own. But yeah, it's wild. So they're little babies. You're teaching them how to walk, and then before you know it, they're saying hi, gaga, goo goo, mama, dada, and then they're just off to the races. And so 21 years, my son is 21 years old, they go by so fast, and so Caroline and I started our family really young. I was 19, she was 21, and we started raising our kids, and it was, to me, it was great. We love our kids.
What was the toughest part, though?
The toughest part, I think, came around when they were nearly teenagers, getting ready for middle school. I think that's when kids come of age. They begin to befriend other kids, and they're more experimental, and they're more challenging to some of your rules and expectations. And so that part of parenting gets difficult. Before that is always fun. It's a lot of fun. You're chasing
Tell me
around,
about
you're
it.
taking them to do
Oh,
fun
yeah,
things, and
right.
they still love to go out and get ice cream. But,
Yeah.
when they start to become teenagers and older, it gets more expensive, but it also gets more difficult. The love is really strong, but it's tough because you see, it's like you have the crystal ball to see into the future,
Right.
that they can go left or right.
Yeah.
But they think they know it all, because kids do. And so,
Of course they do.
those are the challenges. Those are the challenges, but it all goes by super fast. So to any parents, I say enjoy them while they're young, because you're looking up at them before you know it.
Indeed.
Yes.
When I knew when you were in elementary school,
Yes, yeah.
talking about time being a rocket, since it passes so quickly, what has changed in education from then till now?
Wow. So much. I mean, in just 10 years, so much has changed. But just take, for example, the MCAS test that came in the early 2000s, where schools were now being rated based on student performance,
Yes.
and kids couldn't actually, as of recently, graduate high school with a diploma without passing the MCAS test. So the accountability measures, was a huge change that happened over the last 20 or 30 years in education, for sure.
Sure.
And so, debatable, positive or negative. But I would say those kind of things, the expectations for teachers with the educator evaluation system, that has skyrocketed. I think tension for teachers, frustrations for some teachers, as far as the amount of paperwork that goes into it. So yeah, it's changed in a lot of ways. It really has. I think a lot of it's well funded in a lot of ways, but sometimes you can't always see the benefit, and that's a whole other question for the educational domain. But it certainly has changed a lot in my lifespan.
Surely.
So-
When we come back, everything changes. We'll continue this conversation with Wally Williams.
Yes.
Cottage Street Motors in New Bedford has been a vital business in the area. And part of the reason people love Cottage Street Motors is because they are part of the community. They keep things simple. On the car lot, they do things the old-fashioned way. And if you need auto financing, no sweat. They are their own bank. They have been serving the area for decades. I trust them, and I hope you will too. Or at least give them a call. Check things out at Cottage Street Motors. I highly recommend them.
Wally Williams. A lot changes in life all the time, right?
Absolutely.
What are some of the changes that you have found as the biggest challenges in education?
There are many. Some of the biggest challenges in education, I would say, the one that never changes is getting kids to see the big picture. Getting kids to really understand why education is important. Education isn't always fun. It's not always easy to get up at 7:30 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning, be in class for 7:30, and you're not always active, especially for young boys. That's difficult in a classroom. And so the why is something that can be really difficult to translate to kids. And they don't always see that deeply until they're in high school. And so that, I would say, is always a challenge, 100%. And especially in an inner city like New Bedford and in other inner cities, gateway cities like Fall River and Brockton and what have you, when kids have so many other different stimulus and family dynamics that sometimes can call into question and challenge the importance and the necessity of education. So sometimes as an educator, it takes a lot to get kids to understand why school is just as, if not more important than some of the other things that they think are in their life.
Right.
So that's probably the biggest challenge for me, among a multitude of other things.
Sure.
But that's been my work since I got into education, getting kids to see the value and that knowledge is power.
With that in mind, there was another shift going on in education, and it's different today, isn't it?
I would say, yeah.
Tell us about those things in education that you want to make sure the kids get so that they can elevate themselves.
Yeah.
Through a vocational trade, okay? That divide I'm talking about was everyone once said you have to go to academic college. It was to the point where you almost felt as though, wow, is this, something going on here? Everybody is saying that.
Yeah.
But now that I look back on it, all right, nobody said vocational tradesmen are so much needed.
Yeah.
It was different for you, and I think they elbowed Voc. Do you?
I do.
I do too. Yeah.
Wow. There's so many places to go with this question. I love it. And what I would say is that kids stand to benefit from a vocational education because you get the best of both worlds. 90 days of academics, 90 days of vocation. And whether you go off to college to pursue a vocational background or an academic background, the one thing you leave a vocational school with, or at least even a comprehensive school that has vocation in it, is work ethic. And that's something a lot of schools just can't provide. They just can't provide it. Work ethic is something that you need, communication and soft skills and all of those things. To me, that's at the bare minimum. But then the skills that you learn allow you to be able to be resourceful after high school in your family, in your home, for repairs or whatever it is, instead of just being academic. And they call that an artisan, right? Someone who learns with their heart, hand, and mind.
Correct.
We used to actually be the artisans before we were the bears, but that's one of the things I like to remind folks. That's what an artisan is: someone who's intelligent, cares about their academics, but also cares about their technical or vocational trade. And that's what's beautiful about New Bedford Voc-Tech and any vocational school, is that it opens up doors for kids. The door that allow you to access your career of choice and or your academic university or college of choice. And the one thing I would say about colleges and universities, they've done a great job in promoting themselves and showing that your future can be really bright if you go there. But the beauty about this moment is that our society has shifted, and there is a demand and an absolute need for craftspeople and tradespeople.
Absolutely. And the pay that they get.
Absolutely.
Holy moly, huh?
Kids do well.
They
go off and do well.
do.
Yeah, tradespeople do well.
Oh, they do indeed.
Yeah.
Wally Williams, we're going to continue this journey in education. It's such a pleasure to have the principal of Greater New Bedford Vocational Technical High School here. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
More of this amazing discussion in a minute. But first, please like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. Thank you so much. The Butcher Shop on Dartmouth Street in New Bedford is a cut above all the others. And you know what makes the Butcher Shop different? Well, it's their personal service. It's the expert advice if you have a question on cooking. It's the hand-cut Angus beef and the exquisitely prepared entrees, chicken, potatoes, all kinds of side dishes, Portuguese and American. The prices are better than the supermarket, too. And you know what? There's always something cooking up at the Butcher Shop. There's always fresh, daily specials from a family-friendly market. It's as wholesome as the neighborhood. The Butcher Shop, Dartmouth Street, New Bedford.
Wally Williams, this time has flown by.
Sure has.
You have such a beautiful tapestry. You have all kinds of eclectic things on your tapestry. And when I think about what makes people and also what breaks people, I admire you for coming from a tragic moment in a teenager's life to lose his mother at an age of 16, and to turn out the way you have, Bravo.
Thank you.
That deserves applause. Bravo. I mean it. Yes.
Thank you.
And you're an inspiration. You're an
Appreciate that.
inspiration.
Thank you.
Yes. It's very important.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Do you have a mentor or mentors in your life? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Keep them. They are as valuable as anything.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
And always say yes, dear, right?
Learned that a long time ago. I wish I learned it sooner, but
Tell me in like a 30-second, what are you going to tell a young person about why they should attend Greater New Bedford Vocational Technical Regional High School?
yes, yes. Why a student should choose Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech is because it is a place that it has boundless opportunities for a kid. 28 different vocational technical programs for them to choose from. They get to see nearly all of them, but they get to choose one of them. And what they'll have access to is incredible instructors. They will have access to state-of-the-art, equipment, tools that prepare them to go off into the trade as early as their senior year, making money and working alongside tradespeople that are masters, journeymen, and also getting an incredible academic experience with AP courses, honors courses that can get them into any school they choose. Ivy, UMass Dartmouth, Bristol Community College, show the doors open for them. Your college of choice, university of choice, or your career of choice. And number one, work ethic and soft skills. Those are things that are part of a dying breed in our culture that we try to incubate at Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech. So a kid stands to really stand out if they're a student at Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech.
You feel good about that, don't you?
I do. I do.
You know, we have one of your students in the control room.
Yes, we do. She's an awesome kid, for
She
sure.
is tremendous.
Yes, you're lucky to have her.
Cassidy is like college already.
Yes.
You know, I admire the education
Yeah.
and the guidance that you are giving these students because I see it firsthand here.
Oh, yeah. Our teachers take the work very seriously. They know they're putting these kids out into the community to help people like you, you know.
Absolutely.
And that's not a Mickey Mouse operation. It's the real deal, you know.
Absolutely. Did you see the control panel back there?
Beautiful. State of the art.
I
Oh,
know
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. So,
That's John Methia's genius.
oh, yeah.
I'm going to interview him someday, too. Thank you.
He'll be easy.
He'll be easy. As we give our parting words of thanks, is there anything I forgot or didn't ask you that you think is important for our audience to know?
I think this interview was great. I was happy to answer so many of the questions, but I guess what I would close with saying is I would hope that our audience, assuming that many of them are New Bedford folks, just continue to appreciate this beautiful city. I've watched it in my 40 years go from a place that was probably subpar among other cities, and to me now it's just a absolutely beautiful and thriving city, only to get better, and that we all just realize that we can all do something to make this place a better place and to just appreciate it, because where else can you live right on the shore, right there? Be surrounded by a peninsula of beaches, amazing restaurants, and great people. So, absolutely.
They better use you on the next commercial, Hollywood. You hear me?
It's a great place to live.
Tremendous. What an inspiration. I felt that beautiful energy.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Wally Williams.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.